Hello, Mark Ostwald with The Week Ahead. It's going to obviously be quite a thin week in terms of market liquidity because we've got the Easter week holidays starting. But there's still actually quite a busy schedule going on. The US earnings season starts to crank into gear, which will be primarily dominated by a lot of financials. And then we have quite a busy week for economic data. In the US, we have retail sales, which are expected to rebound quite sharply after a very poor performance in February. We also have a number of surveys, including the preliminary PMIs, which are coming out a little early because of the Easter holiday break, but those are generally expected to improve somewhat. Here in the UK, it's a big week in terms of economic data, which we'll probably focus on a little bit more now that we have sidelined Brexit as a major issue for financial markets, at least in the very, very short term, even if there are going to be rumblings about a leadership challenge within the Tory party. But we have inflation data, which should come in basically around the Bank of England's target of around 2%. Prior to that, we have the latest set of labour data, which are expected to show wages at the highest levels since the global financial crisis, around about 3.5%, and still strong employment growth of about 175,000. And then later in the week, we get retail sales in the UK, which are expected to tail off after a rather better performance than most people have been anticipating before that. Elsewhere, we've got inflation data in Japan and in the US and on the central banking front, the Fed issues its latest beige book, which will be watched particularly carefully for signs that the manufacturing sector is slowing and what implications that might have for Fed policy. And there are indeed a large slew of Fed and ECB speakers, though obviously trading volumes in financial markets will start tailing off as we head past Wednesday.